I had several problems. I lost my period for 2.5 years.
By being a vegan.
It influenced it. These are called Xenoestrogens. Men can have low testosterone, sperm quality can decrease, women can have miscarriages, PCOS is a huge one.
You know what's so interesting? We're talking about fertility right now, and I'm hearing a baby crying.
Yes.
This is so funny. Jaki, you were a ballroom dancer before you became a naturopath. Tell us about your health and wellness journey.
Yes, so this is actually where it started. So I wanted to improve my mind, my body as much as possible. So I started to look into biohacking and the famous ones like Ben Greenfield and Dave Asprey. So I wanted to optimize myself. At some point, I got influenced by a documentary that I saw, The Game Changers, and I saw Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about veganism, and I became a vegan. And then I had several problems. I lost my period for 2.5 years.
By being a vegan?
Well, it influenced it. I don't know if, in science we say that correlation doesn't mean causation, so it's not maybe because of that, but it's part of the reason, I guess. I didn't do it properly. It was just an excuse for me to eat whatever I wanted, binging on the cashews and the dates and the bread and a little bit of insulin resistance here and there. My blood sugar was a little bit out of whack. So I wanted to, learn and understand how to get back to my baseline, my normal state of being. And one thing led to another. And at some point during COVID, I just stopped dancing. I didn't find my dance partner, and that's the reason why I stopped. And interestingly enough, I had the opportunity to go to Michigan and do a tryout. So I didn't dance for 1 year, I stopped. And then all of a sudden I have this dance partner that is in Michigan, that is my age, that is Moldovan, I'm also Moldovan. And funny enough, I bought my ticket to go to a biohacking conference just before the tryout in Beverly Hills. So I go to the biohacking conference, I'm exposed to all these longevity, health and wellness experts, and I'm falling in love, and I'm like, this is the people I want to be surrounded with, this is what I want to do. And I've been faced with a duality because right after that, I fly to Michigan, I do my tryout with my dance partner, and I see all the things that dancers are doing because they don't know how to take care of themselves. And I'm saying that with all the respect and love for them because I was part of that. But, training hard until 11 p.m. under the blue light, the toxic blue light, the chicken nuggets, you don't have the time, so you just drink whatever you have, the Coke, the orange juice. So at that point, I made the decision, okay, I am going to be a naturopath to help dancers understand how to optimize their biology. So one thing led to another. Then I went to do my naturopathy studies and eventually got my period back because I consulted with a naturopath. And here I am.
Awesome. So what advice did the naturopath give you?
Yeah. Well, it's not one thing. Mm-hmm. It's lifestyle. It's many things. But there was this one herb that she told me to take. I know the name in French. The herb is achillée. And I took this tincture and it helped me get my period back. It's not just one thing, like I say, it's a multiple.
So what is the lifestyle change that you applied?
Managing stress.
And how about in terms of nutrition?
So, you know, the advice she gave me was more, because I didn't see her once, I saw her multiple times. And it's to build a relationship with food, because as a dancer, as a female dancer, I wanted my body to look a certain way. So I struggled a lot with my relationship with food, actually. So it's just to perceive food as nourishment and not like restricting it. And just the psychology of food really changed for me at that time.
So you were saying that you were vegan during that time, right? And then did the naturopath tell you to start eating meat as well? Because you're no longer vegan.
So the person I saw at that time, the person was a vegetarian. She didn't want to influence me, to take any camp but she just put emphasis on managing stress and gave me those behavioral and lifestyle tools, like, if you go to work. At that time I was doing like my internship in a gym. At the time I was studying kinesiology, and I was in the gym all day and didn't have food with me. So she told me, like, take some nuts with you so you don't like have to rely on things you need to buy.
And so then what made you decide to stop being vegan? Because now you're eating meat, right?
Yes, I do.
Like, what made you decide, okay, veganism is not working out for me? And tell us a bit about that.
So, there is this thing called bioindividuality. So every single human being responds differently to different foods. There's multiple factors. And for me, I've always been attuned to my body and listening to it and just seeing how it reacts. And at some point, I started losing hair. Like I said, I lost my period.
This is during the time when you were vegan.
So I was vegan for 9 months, and
9 months, okay.
9 months. So after like 3 to 4 months, I start seeing those symptoms, and I just felt something was missing, honestly. And immediately after having fish and meat, I felt really, really better.
That's interesting. I was actually pescatarian for 2 years in my early 20s. And it was not working out for me. So then I was like, okay, I think I need to start eating beef again. And it helped because later on I found out that, I'm a little bit anemic. So I do need to eat meat. But I do know people who don't eat red meat that much and they look fine. Right? Yeah. So I guess it's true. Like, there's no one size fits all. Everyone is different, and you eat what works for you.
Exactly.
For example, I don't eat certain vegetables just because I get some sort of like stomach reactions to them. But I do need to eat red meat every other day, if not every day, because otherwise I would feel lethargic. In my early 20s, when I was pescatarian, I was going to school, I had a full-time job while doing my bachelor's degree in economics. I found myself like super weak. I was breaking out, and then at some point I fainted in the hallway, and my friends had to take me to the clinic nearby. So everyone is different. Now, tell us a little bit also about how men and women can optimize their health or maintain their good health.
Yeah, so that's a really good question, and there's many angles that I could go about it, but I'm gonna answer with my philosophy and my lenses and my perspective. So I've came up with these 5 pillars of health that I think are the basics for men and women, both of them. Like, obviously, we women are different than men. We have cycles. There's things that we can do to optimize us. But I think if we look at these 5 pillars, and in the specific chronological order that I'm going to share with you, I think there's tremendous benefits that you're going to have in your life. And these are, first of all, stress management. Second of all, detoxification. Then we have circadian rhythm, so sleep. And then fuel, so the food you eat, the hydration, the supplementation, and lastly, movement. And there's a reason why I say there's a chronological order, because let's say, okay, we start with stress. Okay, you need to manage stress as a human being, and there's many types of stressors that we can be exposed to, but I'm gonna focus on two. So the first one would say emotional psychological stress, because if you are in a constant state of fight or flight and you have like an imaginary tiger in front of you, this could be your boss, your kids, whatever, your perception of stress, you know, if it's always there and heightened, well, the body has priorities and you're not going to optimize for fertility or sex hormones. So then you need to manage that. And then there's another layer to stress. There's like environmental toxins. Then we go into my second pillar, detoxification. So first of all, remove the harm. Remove what harms you. Remove the toxins in your environment. And like this is just
easier said than done.
Easier said than done. But you know, my role is to empower you guys with knowledge and to let you know what actually will make a difference and move the needle for you. And it's the compounding effect of little things, like let's say the pans you use. Are you using Teflon or are you using stainless steel?
Stainless steel.
That's
and cast
way.
iron.
You know,
iron.
I'm not a fan of iron because of iron accumulation in the body tissues.
I see.
So you can use ceramic. Ceramic. There's this. I have no affiliation with them, but this brand called Extrema, they're super clean. And then you have also glass that you can use. You know, all the things we put on our skin, all the lotions.
Yeah, that's why I started Talodin Free.
Yeah.
Right? I told you I started 3 years ago because I was just like, wow, I learned that conventional cosmetics, you know, whatever we're putting on our skin, whatever we're inhaling, right, like air fresheners, they're affecting our fertility.
Of course.
They're affecting our moods.
Of course.
And I was just like, okay, I need to find a solution. I found some solution and I was like, I can actually make these products.
Well, thank you for making those, first of
Thank
all,
you.
because, well, your work is contributing to a better world. Because, you know, the skin is the biggest organ. And like it is like a sponge, it absorbs everything. And now these chemicals that we find in cosmetics, they are now called obesogens. And they're also called diabetogens. So they are causing these things, you know, these diseases. So yeah, that's my second pillar, is just knowing what is harming us and removing the harm, but then what can you do to support the detoxification? So supporting like the drainage pathway, supporting the lymphatic system, moving, it's a big one, you know, it's part of what you can do to support the detoxification process, going to the sauna. Binding, you have all these agents that you can have before going to the sauna, like activated charcoal, let's say.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So take activated charcoal before going to the sauna.
Yes.
Like how many minutes or hours before?
Let's say 30 to 60 minutes before your session, and just make sure you don't eat 2 hours before, because it absorbs everything. You don't want it to attach to the good stuff. You want it to attach to the things we want to move out through the stool.
Got it. Okay, that's really good. These are really good advice, and they're easy to apply. And so you said we need to apply movements, right? Like what kind of movement? Because for some people, going for a walk for 10 minutes is enough. Like how much movement do we need to do every day?
So movement is my fifth pillar. If you remember my 5 pillars, it's the fifth. But first of all, before answering your question, I just want actually to tell your audience that these are not linear. It's like I want people to think as a sphere. So you pull, let's say, one little part of the sphere, everything gets influenced. So, I thought about the second pillar, which was detoxification, and I said that movement is part of a solution of how to detoxify. But it's also part of my fifth pillar. So if we look at actually just narrow down on movement, what we can do, well, there's different things, right? Depends on what do you want to do. But I'm gonna focus my attention on the basics. I think we as human beings are meant for walking a lot.
Walking a lot.
Mm-hmm. Sprinting.
Sprinting too.
Sprinting. Okay. Sprinting, walking. Mm-hmm. Also things like, I love rebounding. I love my trampoline.
Really? I love trampoline too. But I mean, not everyone can afford a trampoline or can go to a gym that has one, right? So we just jump on the ground.
To stimulate your lymph, you can just jump. You can just jump. That's it.
I actually did that yesterday. After my weightlifting session, I just, did some jumping.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Well, I counted 100.
That's amazing.
That's enough? Should I do 1,000?
There's never enough. It's never enough.
Okay.
Muscle contraction also is a big one. We want to support the health of our muscles, and from the age of 30, we can easily start losing muscle mass. So we want at least to maintain it. And another thing I'm gonna add about lymph, you really wanna stimulate lymph, like I said, with jumping, rebounding.
For my audience who don't know what lymphs are, can you maybe explain it briefly?
So lymph is a liquid, it's a liquid transparent, in your body, and it's part of your detoxification system, and you have many lymph nodes, and there's a lot of things that are happening over there with immune system around these lymph nodes. There's aggregation that are more present in certain parts of the body, like the groins, the neck, armpits. And you need muscle contraction to stimulate the lymph, because the heart, when it contracts, makes your blood move a lot. But lymph, if you stay sedentary and stagnant, lymph actually becomes stagnant. So you need muscle contraction to stimulate the lymph and to optimize for the clearing of those toxins in your body.
Got it. All right.
Yes.
Well, these are really good information, very educational. As somebody who's actually into health and wellness, I feel like I'm learning a lot.
That's perfect. I'm happy.
I'm learning more. There's so many things to learn, right? Now, you were talking earlier about managing stress.
Yeah.
It's 2025 with all the technology, information that we have. People are even more stressed than ever. And there's many reasons why, right? The content that we consume on TV or social media. Also just maybe our relationships, right? With our parents, friends, employers, colleagues. All of that affects our life and our stress level. Now, what are your thoughts around that? What can we do to manage stress better?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Boundaries is what I will tell you. And I think aligning your life as much as possible with the natural cycles of light and darkness. So we are meant to relax after the sun sets. As hunter-gatherers, we wouldn't see outside. We couldn't go. Well, it's too dangerous, for our safety. So after sunset, it's time to wind down, to relax. Maybe in the winter, you're gonna need to do that a bit earlier. And then when the sun rises, okay, we can go. But it's to respect those cycles. And let's say, for me, I go to bed at 9, and it's a non-negotiable. And there's nothing there. I cannot go on my phone after that because I know I gotta go to sleep. So already, this is a big needle mover for me.
I see. And like, so me, for example, there was a time when I was always stressed out. As you know, I ran for office last spring for the federal election. I was really stressed out. I was never the woman who's like, go with the flow, take it easy. I was like a go-getter, you know? I had a full-time job. I was running a social club. I was running my side business. And I was campaigning. And I felt like I burnt out at some point. And so then I ended up quitting my job actually in tech. And I decided to like travel to Asia for a month. And I learned a lot about slowing down. And that it's okay to slow down. And I also learned about breathwork. And it's like I learned it because I had to learn it. It was more for like survival at that point. And everything that I learned about it, I'm applying now. I'm actually writing a booklet around breathwork, practicing gratitude and manifestation. I'm into that stuff.
That's perfect.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be publishing it in January 2026.
Looking forward.
Yeah, but about a month from now. And I felt like, well, not I felt, but I see how much breathwork and practicing gratitude actually helps me not be stressed anymore. Like now I'm still doing a lot of things. I'm doing this podcast. I'm going pretty much full time with my skincare brand. I'm also managing social media for one of my clients. So, I'm doing a bit of, and there's one more thing that I'm doing that I'm not going to mention here. So I'm going back to like, that kind of lifestyle where I'm busy, productive, trying to achieve things. And I find that, practicing gratitude every morning and at night and also doing breath work, right? Even if it's just for like 10 seconds, not 10 seconds, like 10 minutes or 5 minutes in the morning and at night. I find like it helped me a lot. Like I don't really stress out anymore. Yeah.
Well, the breath is a powerful tool, right? It's an easy way to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. So you have the sympathetic nervous system. So if you're hyperventilating, you're gonna be in that one. And then you have the parasympathetic, the rest and digest. So let's say you do longer exhalations than inhalations. Well, you can tap into the nervous system that is parasympathetic, that is going to calm you. That's why I tell my clients in naturopathy oftentimes to breathe before a meal. Because if you're in that sympathetic go mode, well, you're not going to optimize for digestion and enzyme productions. Right? The body doesn't really get it. It's optimizing for fighting or flying, going away. So yes, the breath is very powerful. I agree with what you're saying. Gratitude too. Gratitude is really, really powerful.
Thank you. And and back to that, right? Managing stress. A lot of my friends are professionals and entrepreneurs, and many of them are high achievers. And like some of them have also experienced burnout. Now, what can we do to prevent burnout? And if we are burning out right now, what can we do to recover?
Yes, so there's many tools and it depends on your time. It depends on how much time you have. But I'm gonna tell you like straight, for me, it's just back to the basics is you need to sleep properly. So if you're exposing yourself to light, artificial light, and that can be just the light above your head in your house, blue lights, 2 to 3 hours before sleep. If you're exposing your eyes to that, your body receives a signal that it's daytime. So we hear a lot about cortisol and the stress hormone. It's not a bad hormone because we need it. Like in the morning, when you wake up, its highest point should be in the morning, right away when you rise. It's problematic when it's still high before you go to bed. Because there's an inverse correlation with melatonin. So you've heard of melatonin, the hormone that gets us sleep. So if, let's say, you want to go to bed at, let's say, 10, okay? Most people go to bed, I guess, at 10. So you expose yourself, your eyes, to light, artificial light, blue light, at 9, 1 hour before going to sleep. Well, your body is not going to optimize for production of melatonin. So melatonin could be low, cortisol could be high. Well, you're not in an optimal state to go to sleep, so you're not going to recover for the next day and the day after, and then you're going to burn out. So I'd say, a really, really simple thing is really have boundaries with yourself 2 to 3 hours before going to sleep. Set a time. Okay, I'm going to go to bed every night at 10, at 9, even better. And 2 to 3 hours before, dim the light, put red lights in your house or orange lights that have no blue light. I love this company, Hooga, Hooga. And they sell those light bulbs. Put them on 2 to 3 hours before to sleep and make a commitment to yourself, because you owe it to yourself to just calm down. You cannot always be on go, 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 go. It's counterproductive. It's not, you're not gonna make as much as if slow down and then the next day continue. So optimize for sleep.
Slow down and sleep.
Sleep, yeah, circadian rhythm is a big one.
Circadian rhythm, okay. So basically have incandescent light bulbs at home.
Yes, well, incandescent light, they do suppress a little bit of melatonin. So I would say have the incandescent because they have very little blue light. And in general, you don't want to expose yourself to blue light because it's actually toxic to our mitochondria, which are the little organelles in our cells which produce energy. So you just don't want blue light. Infrared emitting light bulbs like incandescents are a really good strategy. But before going to sleep, I'll say get yourself some red bulbs or these red panels. And candles, beeswax candles are the best. So your body responds to darkness to secrete melatonin. And also for circadian rhythm, first thing in the morning, go outside and watch the sunset and the sunrise as much as you can to send the right signal to your brain.
So fix the circadian rhythm, sleep properly, slow down.
Yes.
And is there anything else?
There is. I'm trying to go with the basics, what to do first. What I would say is diet. Obviously, diet is a big one. Yes, diet is a big one.
So what kind of food should we be eating if we're burning out or we're about to burn out?
So if we're burning out right now, first of all, do the circadian rhythm, but then you can have some adaptogenic herbs. So it adapts to your stress levels.
What are adaptogenic herbs?
So let's take reishi. So reishi is a mushroom, okay? And this substance adapts to your levels of stress. So it helps you just become more calm without draining yourself. You have ashwagandha.
When do you take reishi? Is it something that you have to take during the day or before going to sleep?
So it depends. Reishi is gonna calm you, and if you're burning out and during your day you're always stressed, I'll say you can have 2 to 3 cups before going to sleep and in the evening.
2 to 3 cups?
2 to 3 cups a day.
Of tinctures? Reishi tinctures?
No, of tea. Of tea.
Okay, reishi tea.
Reishi tea. You can have tinctures also.
Yeah, because I used to take reishi, but in a tincture form.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you can have tincture. I personally prefer tea, because you can rotate them. If you have, say, holy basil, which is also an adaptogenic herb, you can have reishi tea. Chamomile is a really good herb to calm down. So you can rotate them throughout the day and just extract some of the benefits from all these plants.
So, okay, this is probably going to be a bit controversial. Well, for me, maybe it is. Some people, they would use, like weed, right?
Yeah.
They would smoke weed, or they'd use like weed tinctures to calm themselves. Do you recommend that?
Well, definitely I'm not recommending that. I'm not suggesting that, because again, it comes back to bio-individuality and what works for you. I'm not against it, but I cannot speak about that too much, because it's not, first of all, it's not something that I find can work for everyone, because some people can have a lot of anxiety out of it. So when I'm talking about an herb, I'm having the mentality like, first, do no harm. So I'm just trying to optimize for the benefits. You can try it, and again, there's many benefits out of CBD. But
yeah, like CBD oil, right? Like I knew
CBD
some
oil.
people, like they would even put CBD oil on their head or forehead.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strategy, and like everything, you have to try, observe it. How does your body love it, and then you make the choice if you want to keep going with that.
So you were talking about reishi earlier. It's a mushroom. Now, since we're talking about mushrooms, what do you think of psychedelics? Like, can that help with like burnout, or just feeling better, or with wellness?
I'm not an expert in psychedelic mushrooms, but many reputable schools like Harvard are starting to study these molecules, and there's a lot of cases of improvement, from PTSD to depression. So what I would say is, do not do drugs alone, guys. You need a guide, a knowledgeable practitioner that holds you by the hand, because these are very dangerous substances and are very powerful. And when I say dangerous, I mean if you're taking them without knowing what you're actually doing. It has its place, to expand one's creativity and one's mind. Would I take it if I am experiencing anxiety? No. Why? Because oftentimes this medicine is just exacerbating or showing you what is actually already alive in you. So maybe you want to deal with those things by yourself, and then when you're in a state that you're ready, maybe you do it. But again, with someone that knows how to handle them.
Look, I mean, for me, what works is breath work, practicing gratitude, surrounding myself with uplifting, inspiring people. And and praying too. Like I pray to God every morning and at night, and I feel like it helped me a lot. It helped me with anxiety, managing stress, and I've never felt so calm and so peaceful until now. Yeah. So yeah, maybe like people don't even really need to take these kind of drugs, right, to achieve inner peace and to feel calm. But everyone is different.
Well, I think these external compounds, they are all available within us, right? We can, with our own intelligence and with the wisdom that the body has, we can tap into those states. But the thing is that it takes time to do it. And most people right now, that's what they lack, time and patience. So no, you don't need necessarily to go and grasp those external things, I think.
All right, and now let's talk about fertility. A lot of my audiences are into wellness and health, and they're definitely going to be curious about your thoughts on what we can do, men and women, to improve our fertility. What can we eat? How should our lifestyle be like?
Yeah.
What should we eliminate?
Yeah. I think it goes back to those 5 pillars, but I'm gonna emphasize on a few things right now that I think are not that obvious for the general public. Endocrine disruptors, okay, so compounds that are disturbing our hormones, we need to eliminate them. And first of all, how to eliminate them is to become aware of what they are, where they're hidden, and to just change,
So for my audiences who don't know what endocrine disruptors are, can you elaborate a little bit on that?
So these compounds that are found in plastics, like phthalates, BPAs that are found in canned foods, fragrances, perfumes. If you take, some food, you look at the ingredient list, and you don't understand half of what it's written on it. Put it back. These are just messing with our hormones. Tap water is a huge one.
Well, I use reverse osmosis filter now.
That's
what I
perfect.
drink. And I mineralize my water. I add
Amazing.
lime or lemon.
Yeah, don't forget the salt, sea salt.
Yeah, or whatever salt I have at home. Sometimes Celtic salt.
Yeah, Celtic is perfect also. Yeah. So, this is really huge, but I love to look at the broad spectrum, because if you are stressed and you're not managing stress, again, your body has to fight away from this perceived tiger, so it's not gonna optimize for hormones. That's number 1. Then just remove the harms, and I said tap water, I said the fragrances, the cosmetics, and these are called xenoestrogens. So xeno means foreign, and estrogen, we've heard of estrogen, which is this hormone that is mainly more dominant in a woman, but there's a ratio that you want to have of estrogen and progesterone. So if you're estrogen dominant, because of those xenoestrogens, well, then there's a problem.
Is this for women or men or both?
This is for both, because men can have low testosterone if they're always exposed with these xenoestrogen. Sperm quality can decrease. Women can have miscarriages. They can have, many PCOS is a huge one.
So how does one know if their estrogen, progesterone levels are not balanced?
Well, there are signs, first of all. So if you go men, let's say if you have man boobs, or if you are a little bit too emotional, more emotional than your woman. Yeah.
What is too emotional though?
Sorry?
What is too emotional though?
Well, if you go to a movie and you always cry before your woman,
really?
But there's multiple things that are stuck, right?
Yeah.
So if you cry, maybe there's something else over there. But like I said, man boobs, muscle loss, if you're becoming skinny, or having a big belly, these are all signs. Now for women, if you have hair where you don't want, like on the face, let's say you're losing also your hair, gaining weight. These are all signs that you can assess and see for yourself. So that's an easy way to know,
Okay, if someone has imbalances with their hormones.
Yes, exactly. But then there's tests also, there's functional tests. But before going there, I'll say just ask yourself, am I overweight? How is my focus? How is my energy? How's my mood?
Okay, I guess I'm not so bad after all.
Of course not.
Well, I'm 37 years old. I want to have at least one kid one day, right? So these are things that I do think about. And also, what are your thoughts on supplements? Like one of my girlfriends told me I should take CoQ10. So I've been taking that. I also eat meat organs like liver, beef heart, or calf heart, or beef heart. I don't know.
Which has CoQ10 also in it.
Yeah. So, and then red meat also I eat every other day, if not every day.
That's perfect.
And I listen to my body a lot, you know. I eat a lot of potatoes, sweet potatoes, so that I'm not just eating protein. I also have my carbs. I tried carnivore diet for like 2 weeks. I saw like really good results, but I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be good for me if I want to be fertile, right?
Yeah.
Because then I'll be missing out on you know, certain nutritions too. Yeah. So what else can we do? So managing stress, making sure we're not exposed to endocrine disruptors for our hormone balance, and manage. And then what else did you say?
Circadian rhythm, having a very good circadian rhythm. Then now let's talk about fuel. What are you drinking? What are you eating? What are you supplementing in? So in terms of fuel, I love what you just said, because you want to have a nutrient-rich diet, okay? And meat, red meat, quality red meat, because you're not just what you eat, you're what you ate. Meaning, if the beef you're eating ate grains, which will promote inflammation in your body, or excess estrogen, because grains are also estrogenic, well, then you're gonna have an impact. So the quality of your food is very important. So are you eating organic most of the time? Or at least are you aware of the dirty dozens, like, you know, the 12 most contaminated foods of, well, it's fruits and vegetables, most of them. You want to remove the glyphosates, you want to remove the pesticides, the herbicides. So you want to have things that is going to actually nourish your body deeply to the cellular level. I'm going to tell you about, because now we're into fuel, I'm going to tell you about this wheel of victory that I created, because I did a conference last year on nutrition, and I was like trying to think, the team was on nutrition, but my aim is to give my audience tools when they're at the grocery store. Okay, what can I actually do to optimize my health? And this also answers the questions of fertility, because it's like a complete picture. What can we do? Before it was easy. We were gathering, we were getting the animal, that's what we were eating. Now we're like, we have so many options, gluten-free, all these things, what do we take? So for a complete answer to fuel, what should we eat, I call it the 1P 7F. So in order, you should have every day at least protein, fiber, fats, fermented foods. Then you want to have flavor. Flavor means all the spices, the antioxidants, the polyphenols. Then you want to have fluids. What are you drinking? What teas are you drinking? You know, are you having mineral water full of mineral? And then you want to have the finishers. Finishers are my supplements. So one big one that I would like your audience to be aware of is magnesium. I would recommend, honestly, like everyone, magnesium. Because magnesium is a mineral that is supposed to be in our soils, but now our soils are depleted of magnesium. So yeah, you have your spinach and you think, oh, I'm gonna get all these minerals, but maybe your magnesium is devoid of minerals because the soil was devoid of magnesium. So magnesium bisglycinate is my favorite one because there's many out there. So yeah, that's like for the fuel, what I would say to optimize fertility. And then we can go into so many other rabbit holes, but like generally speaking, I'm gonna leave it to that. And movement again is like very, very, very important, because if you have also another thing, excess fat on your body, that's another issue, you know, not only with fertility, but you know, with metabolic issues. So you wanna move for that. You wanna support your lymphatic system. You wanna contract your muscles.
Yeah. So these are really good advice, and very easy also to remember, right? 7
1P, 7 Fs.
1P, 7 Fs.
So you have protein,
Protein.
you have fat, fiber, fermented, fluids, finishers. Did I forget one?
Oh my God.
I'm at 5.
Oh yeah.
Fats, fermented, fiber, fluids, flavor.
Flavor, yes. Okay, good. And so when you say protein, like, does it have to be meat and eggs, or can it be, for our vegetarians, vegan listeners?
So for me, what is important is to have maximal bioavailability of the protein you're ingesting. Okay, so let's say you have a chickpea. You have 100 grams of chickpea versus 100 grams of red meat. You're gonna absorb a much greater ratio of the amino acids in the red meat versus in the chickpeas. That's what I'm gonna tell you. So I'm gonna optimize for the red meat because it's more bioavailable, it's more easier for me to get the nutrients out of it. So for me, in order of like priority personally, I'll say quality red meat, grass-fed, grass-finished, really important. Then I'll go for eggs, pasture-raised eggs, free range is very hard to find in Montreal, in Canada, very, very, very hard. There's a farm though that actually started to do it. I don't remember the name of it, but maybe I can send you the link after.
Sure.
So fish, I love fish. Wild caught, shellfish also. I'm a big fan of oysters,
I
raw
love oysters too.
It's perfect. It's full of nutrition.
And I love sushi. That's when I eat fish.
That's when you eat fish.
Yeah, mostly.
It's raw. You have it raw, right?
Yes.
Have the ginger with it.
I do, and I avoid salmon, especially if I don't know where the salmon came from.
Why?
Well, because most salmon are farmed, right?
There's a lot of them that are, but a lot of fish in general that are farmed, and you don't want the farmed fish.
Yeah,
that's
exactly. That's why I don't really eat fish that much. Only sushi because I love sushi. But yeah, I need to eat more fish, right?
You don't have to. You don't have to. I mean, if you eat red meat every day, I mean.
Yeah, almost every day, actually.
And I want to make an emphasis on also collagenous things, bone broth.
I definitely have bone broth pretty regularly.
Make sure it's gelatinous. Like when you see it, perfect.
I love soup, so yeah, I make my bone broth with like bone marrow as well.
Bone marrow, but don't forget the oxtail because bone marrow is really good. Right? It has many nutrients in it, full of like things that are gonna boost your own stem cells actually, but it's not really rich in collagen. You want the oxtail, you want the ossobuco, you want the beef cheek, these things that are gonna be rich in collagen.
You know what's so interesting? We're talking about fertility right now, and I'm hearing a baby crying.
Yes.
This is so funny. Okay, well, Jackie, thank you so much for all these insights. Now, one last thing. The name of the podcast is Original and Unconventional. If you have any unconventional views on health and wellness, what would it be?
If you could do one thing for your health, is to manage your light environment.
Light environment.
Your light environment. Okay. And this means the sun is healing you. The sun is not harming you. The lights in your home, switch them for things like incandescent lights. And, optimize for beeswax candles. And red light therapy is not only new agey, but is actually working. So light is really important, crucial.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jackie. Thank you for sharing all these insights with us today. And how can our audiences follow you? Like, do you have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok?
Yeah. So right now I'm more active on Instagram. You can find me at Jaki _ there's 2 underscores, Leon, Leon. So it's gonna be Jaki 2 underscores Leon.
And you're also, are you taking any clients right now as a naturopath?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. I'm doing that, and I'm working on my website. You're going to be able to take one-on-ones with me, and also if you want me to come to your event, do some conferences, I'm also available for that.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Jaki.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
We get the banging on the walls, this the neighbors, dog. You in the 12-foot ceilings, ain't just painted through the house so I can breathe.